Hi guys, thanks for checking the video out. Steve Buzza here. I'm currently in my home simulator, but this morning I was at the Kinetic Center with Dr. Matt. He has been patching me together for the last few months. I would not have finished my golf season without him, but I've been seeing him regularly. I would highly recommend you find either a physical therapist, a strength and conditioner, or a chiropractor, somebody that can help you along your journey. If you have some ailments, see them regularly to actually flip the script, get yourself really healthy, or somebody that you can see sporadically to keep you healthy. Dr. Matt is my guy. If you're in the Frisco, Dallas area, I would be recommending him, but his knowledge is first class, but he's also a really good guy. So today when we were in there, I just put the camera up and it will show what he did treatment-wise, but we're also having a little bit of a chat, a little bit of a banter. It's all in there. Let's take a look. So I played yesterday. Wrist is like, didn't even think about it. Good. Which is like awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's been a couple weeks that we've been able to play without it, just without thinking about it or having to wear a brace or warm it up crazy.
And like if you look at the range now,
almost back to even.
It's like back, isn't it? And I still need.
I would say you even actually have a little bit more extension in that side than you actually do on the other side.
So I still need to strengthen it. Mm-hmm. But in terms of that, literally no issue, didn't even think about it. Mm-hmm. I did the warm-up that you said with my hip flexor. Mm-hmm. I'm really sore where you work.
Yeah, it'll be pretty sore in there because we're working not only through the abdomen, we're working through the rectus abdominis, all the transverse abdominis, the obliques, unfortunately intestines and all the good stuff inside there as well, to get very deep, right? Like we said, it's on the front side of that lumbar spine, so it's a very hard muscle to penetrate, but when we do actually get to address it, it does give us the major relief that we do want.
So I did the warm-up. You know how you said to lie on the roller? On the roller and like breathe. So I did that in I did that in the change rooms beforehand.
Good.
Looked like I was trying to like
impale yourself?
Well, no, it was a cross between impaling myself and trying to have, you know, like when little kids have like their little toy that they can't sleep without. Yeah. Like I was in between those two.
Hugging on it.
Things. So I did that. I then did my 3D maps warm up.
Good.
I did my right balance, lined my body up. So my body felt really good.
Good.
Second tee, only problem. So it hit it great off the tee. Mm-hmm. But the second tee I slipped. It was raining yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty dewy.
So I hit one, and obviously I then didn't clear my pelvis. Mm-hmm. So I hit it fine. Like ball went fine, but it hurt at the point. It might be worth us just checking if I messed up the alignment.
Absolutely.
But
so would you say now feeling it's still more in the front or actually in the back?
I felt it right in the back.
Okay.
It was that crunch factor, you know. I just because I don't tilt my pelvis that much anyway, you know. In my swing itself, you know, I could do with getting a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So I'm already on the low side because the foot went. You see, I got down into here.
Yeah. Plus, it doesn't let that left ilium actually rotate backwards. Yeah. So whenever we get that, that's where you're going to get that impingement from the ilium and the sacrum, that SI joint, and then that's where it could either get just crammed or sometimes it slides out of position, and then you're trying to deal with that the rest of the round, right? So then you only have one. Kind of how I remember I told you they move back and forth, right? When we swing, well, you only had one windshield wiper working, right? This one was kind of stuck, so that's going to be a really uphill battle from the get-go. And unfortunately, it just comes with, you know, a swing, bad footing, but those things happen.
I think I need to start looking at maybe wearing spikes because I do drive to the ground a lot this way. Yeah. And I had a bit of like, you can imagine the next swing I had a bit of PTSD. I was a little worried it was going to go again.
Really grabbing in now.
I drove it good.
Good.
I'm not. Again, because of the wrist, haven't done any speed training, haven't really trained as hard as I should be.
Yeah.
the work that we've been doing, I think my body probably feels better than I deserve. You know, you just stop eating like a pig.
Absolutely. I'm in that same boat.
Other things.
We can,
oh yeah, we're in the same boat.
We can calories don't count. Right? But yeah.
You don't want to calorie count with me, buddy. Every time. I make that shootout every time. Yeah. Calories. But it's feeling better. I need to now start going forward. Like the one thing that's been really clear the last few rounds is like off the tee, I feel really good. I've been doing this. I'll do it with you. It's called mental golf type. So it's a really good way of like how you like picturing your shots. Yeah. So body felt good. Like how I was trying to hit it down the holes felt really good. But like I don't have access to that second gear at the minute. Okay. So I'm like swinging. 18 there was a stream at 265. Which 265 isn't. Hell, I can hit my 3-wood over that. But it's in the back of my mind. I'm not like anywhere near like full capacity at the minute. Yeah. So probably a bad example. I didn't need to like hit it harder. You know, because it should be more of like if it was at 280, I would need to like step a little bit. Yeah. But as soon as I try to put anything in a bit more, I'm just not getting through any of the
Gotcha. And that'll be kind of where you said that next component is, right? That the back is feeling better. Okay, maybe now it's actually going to be getting into actually physically train and put some stress into the body so we can put that stress out onto the course, right? If we don't stress into the capacities, then we can't stress it whenever we absolutely need to when we have to perform. So, but can't stress it if the body's already in a high level of stress whenever it hurts to bend over and tee up a ball, much less try to really kind of do anything else. So let's check out the walk.
It's one of those simple ones, to be honest. Like I'm used to being able to, you know, when you like class yourself as a bit of a longer hitter, at the minute I'm a bit more of a keep it in play guy. But
you ready, buddy?
I'm gonna be the big guy again.
Let's get you there, man. All right, great. You can go and take a seat there, Steve. Let's take a peek. Okay, good. So looking at that left side, left hip's going down, or I'm sorry, left leg's going forward, right hip is going down by 0.7 degrees, so level. So, yep, not bad at all. And let's take a peek at the next one. So now, when the right foot's going forward, 0.1. So it's staying level. We're not getting the lateral shift, but with what happened in the swing, how you were talking about, it was more of a rotational component where we tried to rotate it and it got maxed out, easiest way to say. That's what we'll have to check next, is to see how the hips are actually rotating, because that is looking at the frontal plane to tell us tilt left or right rather than the rotational component of it there as well. So, yep. So we'll take a peek. Probably, maybe we'll address the hip flexor, but it's super sore. I don't like to dig into it too much. But let's take a look at that hip. Make sure we probably have the glute fire in the way that we need to, or mobilize in the way that we need to, and then we'll make sure we adjust through it, give you an exercise or two to go along with it. Cool. All right, buddy. So let's go ahead and go on your side, facing to the wall that way for me, to the left. Left side up. Cool. So generally, were you kind of feeling it like right about there? Yeah. So that right there is the SI joint. So that kind of like that little dimple in your back or whatnot. It's where the ilium's coming over here, sacrum's coming in here, and then you have S1. So a lot of times, like I said, if that doesn't move, you're getting the restriction coming from the glute medius and minimus. That's right into here. So
like that feels real tight.
Yeah. So a lot of people kind of consider this like, hey, this is the low back, but it's still mostly the glute. But the glute is going to have a huge factor into the stability of the low back. So always playing the spikeless, Steve?
So I've got like a hybrid at the minute. It's like in between. I think I need to go a bit more into. And you see the long drivers, they tend to take them out of the front foot, the left foot. So I do twist the foot a little bit. So I almost just need two on the back right foot. You know, it was raining as well. You know, so there was a lot of moisture on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of what I've tended to kind of notice too, because I do plain spikeless. They're just a little bit more comfortable for my foot. But in the mornings, if it's dewy out or anything kind of like that, you do tend to lose a little bit more of that footing.
Yeah, and it's kind of finding the blend. So, like a good rule of thumb is, pardon the pun, as you drive your thumb into my back. If you have really tight ankles, you should have pretty loose footwear, you know, so like the more casual. Whereas if you've got quite floppy feet, you need the footwear to put in the stability. So because like we've been working on my ankles, my Achilles aren't too good, I could definitely have better range in my feet. I try to go nearer the looser side, but then you just have to be careful of the slipping.
Yeah, you're going to get that, it's that fine line between the two.
You almost need that loose trainer-esque, but then you would need some spikes, and you know, that's not really what you associate with that design.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to work that hip, Steve. So from right here, you're going to keep your feet together. You're going to raise up your leg right here. So we're going to kind of do a bit of a clamshell. So you're going to raise it up. And you don't have to feel like you're forcing it, because you're going to feel the restriction as I'm working on the hip. You're going to go to there, back down. Let's go ahead and do about 5 repetitions of those real quick for me.
Don't cry, Steve.
Last one, go ahead and relax there. So you can kind of see whenever I'm working that's more the rotational component of your hip. So it has to internally rotate on the hip, and then this is actually externally rotating whenever we're doing that. So if it got caught with that one foot going back, it puts it at maximum internal rotation and it won't externally rotate. So that's where we're trying to kind of get some of that mobility back to it. All right, let's go ahead and go for another 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Go ahead and relax. We'll hit that one more time. Does that feel pretty spot on right there where we're kind of hitting it?
You know the answer to that.
When you're making the
No
face.
one ever said to you, no, actually, it's not
No,
that.
it's actually,
You got the wrong place.
no, you got it spot on. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and go face down for me now, sir. All right, so now we're gonna work that erector. So that tournament was for what again, Steve? The one that was
It was one of the coolest events I've played. So there's a guy called Jerry Ransom. He basically has really helped out the North Texas PGA. He's done loads of like scholarship work, like sent tons of high school kids to college. So the pros do a lot of like charity stuff through the year. So this was our kind of, well, thanks for helping. So you played 9 holes, the top 3, and then 1 wild card went through into another 9. It was 3 holes knockout, 3 holes knockout, 3 holes winner.
And then you said what? A couple were randomly selected as well? And you said how that went as well?
Pardon?
Wasn't there some random as well? Like if you didn't play, you still got randomly picked?
Yeah, so 3 was on the scorecard, 1 was randomly picked.
Gotcha.
And it was funny, I worked out if I got randomly picked and got through the first 3 holes, it would be my highest check as a pro. So I suppose, yes, I came away with 0, but that would have been you know, I don't mind being the guy that turns up.
So you can stay right there, buddy. We're gonna throw some of those cups on there now. All right, hit 2 on this. Yeah, that's looks pretty mad right there, but it's pretty red already just from me.
Yeah. Yeah, the course was, it's like a 9-hole course. It's called the Oaks. About an hour from here. You know when you turn up to a course, you're like, this place looks really cool.
Yeah.
You know, nice tree line, small greens. You can imagine they put the pins in crazy places.
All right, I'll let those sit there for a couple minutes. We'll pop off and then we'll adjust that hip. Did you end up knowing the guy who took it all?
Pardon?
Did you end up knowing the gentleman who took it all?
He was from a bit more south of Dallas.
Gotcha.
Played nicely though. You know, it was. But I had one of those. I shot 1 over through 9. Two under got you in the playoff. Well, I didn't have a free. I said to Megan when I got home, like, it felt close, but also like, I didn't have a genuine birdie putt, so it's very hard to shoot 2 under.
Yeah, whenever you don't even have any attempts at it, right?
I put my stats in last night, and my strokes gained was off the tee was, you know, plus, and the putting was plus. There's just nothing in that middle.
Yeah.
And I was playing the course blind.
Yeah, true.
And it was wet, but it's a great example. You can't shoot a score without your irons.
Yeah, I played Saturday, and same thing. It was kind of dewy out. The front side of the course was very shaded, so a lot of the greens were just really, really slow.
Yeah.
And you know, we're playing really, really slow, so got used to that pace. We got to the back nine. The back nine's a bit more open, sunny, dried up, and everything was just running out. I was like, goodness, man, I couldn't get it tuned in. So shot decently well, but I just couldn't dial in the putter. Just playing chase with it the whole day.
And that kind of happens, and it plays with you emotionally as well.
Absolutely, because I was hitting greens, you know, hitting nines well, but just couldn't get the putts to fall.
And it was just, you know, I was driving home and I was just laughing because I had 6 iron into the par 5 and didn't make birdie, and then I 3-putted the next par 3. I was quite in the back of the green, but you know, all of a sudden, instead of 1 under, you're 1 over, and you
things can flip on you real quick, right?
But like, if it was an event, you'd be pretty happy with how you're playing. It was secure. I felt really secure, not only with what I was hitting off the tee, but you know, the process that was allowing it.
Yeah.
But it's funny, I played with a kid, and he, you know, I hit one down the par 5, and I hit it nice. And then, you know, when they knock it like 20, 30 by you, and you're like,
Yeah, that used to be me.
I just don't like it.
I don't like when people get out.
I just don't like it. That's probably the last one of the year. Individual, anyway.
Yeah, I would assume there's not too many more going on the rest of the year for y'all guys, especially just rolling into the holidays.
So yeah, just trying to like change the diet. I want to give it 1 more year. You know, I want the body to be kind of where it needs to be.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a lot of on-course work and off-course work.
Yeah. And really, to tell you the truth, I think the off-course work is the harder component of it. You know,
Oh,
that's
for sure.
And we've talked about this, you know, multiple times.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that same personality. It's like when I'm all in on it, I'm all in on it. But whenever I'm off, I'm off. You know.
100%.
So.
I've said this to you before. I'm like a boxer, you know. If I got a fight going on, I'm like can train, and then as soon as you give me any lenience,
yeah, we're out of the way, man. I'm out of the fight. Might as well turn me off.
Talking about not being in a fight, I went down to see Tyson on that.
Oh yeah, did you watch it?
I went down there.
Oh yeah.
Got a late ticket. It was fun. First time I've been in the AT&T.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the experience.
Yeah. It's cool. I got we had some friends over our house, so I got to watch the ladies fight. That was right before them, right as they were getting ready to walk in and that kind of stuff. That's when I'm sure you've heard Netflix went down, right?
Yeah.
So I think I caught it from like maybe into the 5th, 6th round on. So they said more of the exciting stuff, even though it really wasn't that exciting, was in the first 2 rounds or so or whatnot. So I didn't get to catch too much of it, but.
Like
like, I wanted to see Tyson. Like, the people in front are like, I can't believe I should get my money back. You're like what were you expecting?
Yeah, exactly.
He's 59 years old.
You're not getting prime Mike
And
Tyson.
I know he's come out saying how ill he was, but we knew he was ill because the fight got cancelled last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Or rescheduled. But knowing that KT was on the card, you know, and they had a war the previous time, so I kind of went down there for that.
Yeah, that was
But when KT was, you know, announced the winner, you know, that's who I went to see. So I'm like clapping.
Yeah, and everybody else was. Why are you?
It felt like
Everybody was watching you or getting mad at you, right?
everybody started booing. I'm talking there was 65,000 people booing.
Yeah. I'm probably quite dead. No. All right, let's get you cleaned up, buddy. So go ahead and lay face all the way down. Let's get this adjusted, nice and relaxed. Go and breathe all the way in for me, buddy, and all the way out, Steve. One more, and all the way out. Good. All right, let's go ahead and turn on over for me.
That was a little bit tight, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a little restricted there. All right, go ahead and keep that bottom leg straight for me there, Steve. Nice and relaxed. Go ahead and breathe in and all the way out. One more. There it goes. Okay, one time the opposite way. Okay, just as so. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. Good. Okay, on your back for me. Make sure you get that ankle cleaned up. Nice and relaxed here. Good. All right. Here's your hand. Go and come on up. All right. So let's go ahead and walk around a little bit. Let's see how that SI joint feels right in through there. So as I was kind of telling you, it's over here. Where we're getting that, where we're getting that restriction from, right, is that glute med, should I say on the left side, running from here to here, is getting right on that SI joint and kind of running over here towards the sacrum. So whenever that just gets locked down, it doesn't let that rotation component kind of go into there. Yeah. Then when that doesn't come through there, the erector starts to kind of fight it. So you have a tug of war of the erector pulling vertically. You have the glute kind of pulling down, but a little bit more rotationally, so you get that restriction kind of right in through there. Well, probably at the same time too, when you went to swing, it was an awkward swing, feet got out from underneath you. If that SI joint, exactly, it locks it down. So then that's where we'll have to adjust to make sure, ensuring you have the mobility through it. But if the muscles around it are still contracted, well then of course you can get the motion, but then the muscles are going to lock it back down again. So
and you know when they said, I know Tiger, they laughed at him when he said he couldn't fire his glutes, but because you protect this lower back here with your glutes, if this gets tightened across here, would you say because the glutes are weird muscle, isn't it? Because it sometimes just generally stops firing, or would you say because it's being pulled in different directions?
It gets pulled in different directions, and then also at the same time too, it's also a major stability. So if you're trying to protect it, sometimes that muscle gets overactive, and then it becomes really, I wouldn't say it's always like just not firing. The glutes are going to fire. You have to have it to have the body actually move through it. It's more so a timing sequence, right? We've kind of talked about previously in like TPI, the kinematic sequence and different things like that. It's the same thing when we're going through the musculature of the body. There's a specific cadence that we need to be able to have that body firing. And if we had that body firing in that cadence, it's gonna turn out to be the kinematic sequence, but I'm looking from the anatomical side of it to see which muscles aren't firing. So if the glute is firing too late, then we already have the rotation, and then it tries to fire and then puts us more kind of into a little bit of an extended position, right? So that glute needs to fire kind of early to be able to get us that rotation, but then it's also at the same time too, because it's a lot of times the right side firing to create that rotation, but then the left side actually has to fire too to stop, how we were talking about posting, right? And where we were having that issue with was from the hip flexor last time. We've been able to clean that up a little bit more. But now it was just probably one of those awkward swings, foot slipped out from underneath me, pelvis gets twisted, muscles are just protecting it because it knows if I go into any more of that mobility, front, back, side to side, whatever it is, that's going to cause damage. So the body goes into protection mode, and that's whenever it feels like it really starts to kind of lock up. So
that makes sense.
yeah, now we're just trying to let it know, hey, no damage was done.
Yeah.
Let's let go of this stuff so we can get back to moving the way that we want to. So absolutely.
Yeah, it's like it is funny, like that swing I made on the neck.
Yeah.
You know, genuinely, you're standing there. And of course, it was a par 5, so you're like, I'm trying to send it.
Yeah.
And you're there, and you just like,
no.
It's that worry when you don't feel like you.
I had a couple of them too, man. Yes, whenever I played yesterday, I went to go swing, and I was just like, oh god. Or like, I always go back to my baseball background. Like a lot of people, they like, if you ever watch baseball, people they really like dig in, right, to get good footing. I never had issue with that. I just didn't like the issue of, I don't know, a twig being underneath my foot. I don't feel like I have good contact with the ground, right? So I'm gonna slip. So I was always very like smooth it out, make sure it's pat down, like tamp it down, and I can feel it. So, you know, when you don't have that footing right from the get-go, it's always like the worst mindset. At least for me, it's not. We talked about like you were talking about like the visual imagization, or however you want to say it, of like, okay, well, this is the line I want, this is the shot shape I want. I have that, but if I'm like, my feet are bad, I'm like, this is gonna be a bad shot right from the get-go. It's not setting myself up well for it.
It takes your focus. So some golfers need to have more of their focus out here. Some need it more back here.
Yeah.
I'm more of the out there guy. But because of my biomechanics background, it's really easy for me to get like back down into the weeds.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think out here, but then you're standing here like, don't you slip.
Yeah,
It creates this weird disconnect.
I think I'm in the same boat just because what I do, I think of the body, okay, it's my body doing it. If I have my body doing what I'm supposed to do correctly, that outcome out there will be exactly what I want, right? But I'm like, if I start from here just addressing the ball, if I already have, you know, bad feelings about that, I'm like, this is done for, man. I got nothing left to go. So
it was a cool event. And
cool, man. I'm glad
it's
you had a
funny
good
when
one.
you drive home, like, you know, when you're like, oh, it would have been so cool if I got lucky to get in there, and you're like, it's not luck.
Yeah.
You donut.
It's
Work a little hard. Well,
there was one spot, right? You said the one was drawn at random, so there was a little bit of luck into that one spot. But hey, there's 3 you could play in and 1 you can get lucky with. Why don't you just go with the better odds of the 3?
The problem is, which one do you think when I was driving there and I'm like, it'd be cool to be this guy. It's like, just try and make some birdies.
Exactly, man. Just make your shots and you're good, man. So, absolutely.